Right, now we're back. Oh my god. I can't apologise enough. We took our break anyway, like, but
Keep apologising.
drum roll, please. Yeah, but it breaks the thing up, doesn't it? We had such a good
Okay.
flow going. And,
I know, this breaks the podcast.
yeah. For those watching on YouTube, my internet had a heart attack, so we were offline for a bit.
Rip.
But we're back now. I'm ready to
Voltron,
go.
Voltron came back.
Yeah,
Voltron came.
You know what? It's flipped just round again. Why does it keep doing this? How do I swap it? Oh, fuck, I don't even know. I'm just gonna do it manually.
My name is Dan Railton. Everyone.
You've taken over now. So lackadaisical. Right. Fuck. Right. We're back. We're good.
Yay.
So we can continue. Usually we do this segment first, but we're gonna do it second this time because not much has happened this week really. So we're gonna
No,
talk about our fondest gaming memories. Yeah, I was watching some completionist being probably Horden being blitzing through all of his videos. Watching We Love Games, Why We Love Games, that series.
Good one.
I was watching his Pokemon Blue one. I was just like the way he was talking. I was just lying in bed, and it was like story time, and it just reminded me of so many times that like that's happened to me where like, oh, my dad's came in with a game like when I was younger, and just how magical it is getting a game as a kid. So does anyone want to kick off, or should I start? Because I've got a good story.
About games.
You start
Yeah.
if you want.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
start.
you start.
I've got a few.
There's one
Trying to think of.
story that is quite funny. I don't know if you can see on the webcam, but I actually have like a scar, on my right eyebrow. It looks like I just shaved it in to be cool, but I don't. Trust me. The reason I got that scar is because when I was 3. Hey, you want to know how I got this scars?
What's that from?
Fucking get off my podcast. From Batman, the Joker. But yeah, when I was
Spoilers.
about 3 years old, might have been 3 or 2. I was in my grandma's house next. Well, I lived away at the time, but she lived where I live now. She lived next door, and I remember just being in the living room with like chocolate biscuits, like chocolate. Remember McVitie's chocolate? Can you still get them? McVitie's chocolate digestives. Like
Yeah.
can you still get them? Like I don't.
Yeah, of
I don't buy food.
He doesn't follow. He doesn't follow biscuit.
I don't follow the
Jeez,
biscuit
God.
culture.
Really, lad. Get the magazine
out.
every month.
But yeah,
Lads, you want to get on Hits? They're cheap. They're
Sponsored by
nice.
Hits.
They're called
Lad.
Prince's biscuits in France.
oh yeah, like I know Princes. But
Yeah, they're like Prince's.
are they like the crackers, like cracker sort of biscuit with chocolate? In the
Yeah.
middle? Yeah, I know them.
Yeah,
I know the
yeah.
type.
Well, these are vanilla ones, so it's like Oreo white filling.
Hey,
in the
if
middle.
we're not getting paid by them, get them off. Get them off.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Biscuit Connoisseurs
Yeah.
podcast.
Biscuit Connoisseurs podcast. That's our next project. But yeah. So anyway, I had digestives and whatever, and I remember dropping one, and it rolling under like this really low coffee table that my grandma used to have, and me being me as a 3-year-old just literally like bent straight down, like headbutted this table, being like a 3-year-old, and just like remember just seeing blood like go all over my face, and like ran into my mum like screaming or whatever. My mum was like, "Oh no, like you gotta get him to the hospital." Yeah, my mum was that enthusiastic. She was like, "Oh no," but yeah. So wrap me up in a towel. And my head was like split open, and I got taken to the hospital all day, and they wrapped me up in a blanket like so I couldn't move my arms like a cocoon, and literally like they said to me, "Oh, he's gonna have to have like stitches through his eye, like through the eyelid, 'cause that's where it was split." So my mum was like, "Oh, sure, obviously, of course, yeah, like as long as he doesn't bleed out." So the like getting my eye
Did you
stitched up
survive?
and whatever. No, I died. Spoilers.
Spoilers.
Well, yeah. So I'm getting like needle through my eye and whatever, and I just like remember my mum saying, "No, the nurses were like, because I was only 3 and it's like a children's hospital. The nurses were like, Bubbles, you want bubbles?' Like blowing bubbles in the room, so it's like try and keep me occupied. And I'm like screaming, getting like a needle through my eye. So probably wondering how this relates to this story, but it
I'm
does.
sure someone
So,
comes
like-
along, gives you a game,
So yeah.
like the hospital.
So the traumatic bit's over, and I remember going back to the hospital a week later to get my stitches out or whatever, and got them in like a little jar. And I went with my grandma, and I remember coming home and like my grandma just being like, "I got you a game for your Super Nintendo." And that game was Yoshi's Island, Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island, and I don't know why it just holds such a special place in my heart because obviously I lost my grandma like 4 years ago, 5 years ago, something like that, and I just wish I had that copy of Yoshi's Island. It's upstairs somewhere, but I wish I had it now to play because I don't know. It's just something about it. The fact that she bought me, like she also bought me a Harry Potter novel. I'm not really a big Harry Potter fan, but I know I'll always keep it just because she got me it, sort of thing. And I'll never forget just like whacking it on. Loved it. But yeah, that's my first story anyway.
Your first story. Nice.
It was lovely. But
Oh.
yeah, rip grandma. GBNF. But yeah. Anyone else wanna kick
Just
off one?
thinking.
Richard, I know you've got some. You've told me loads about your cousins and shit.
Well, no, that's not like really stories. That's just me going over.
Yeah, but it must
And then
it
playing
must
it.
make
Their
it must
asses.
make that game more like sentimental in your eyes.
Yeah.
From that,
More
because I know every
sentimental.
time I hear like the intro to Super Mario World, it's called Music Box or something. It's like do 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 do. It's just like
Yeah.
makes me so sad, but like happy at the same time. Well.
I don't know. Just thinking about it now, like I don't really have that really fond memories of or like that. I don't. There's nothing like if I hear like music or of a particular game, it doesn't like instantly flash back in my head. Like oh shit. Or maybe it's just because I'm like not what is it desensitized? Not desensitized. I don't have that many. What's that word?
Memories.
Not yeah. Oh, shit. Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? No, it's just-
He's Jackie Chan and Who Am I?
Yeah. Who am I? Who am I?
I don't know. Maybe I didn't have like I didn't. Maybe I was too stupid to link memories to shit, like fond memories to shit. I was just like, I just played as it is, kind of thing. Like I do remember playing video games as a child. I think not. I didn't. I don't think I had like an NES. Actually, I really don't remember. Because like my family is like we didn't really have that. Like the first proper console that we had that I actually remember was like the PlayStation 1.
Mm.
Like that's not like the N66 or N64.
N66.
Apologies.
N66.
I'm sorry, internet. I'm sorry.
You've offended
N64.
everyone. You've offended everyone in the chat.
N64.
Everyone I offend, fuck yourself. No.
I'm gonna have to blare that out now.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we're not editing it.
Well, I'm gonna have to now. The internet
Well,
dropped like 5 times. It's gonna be like 5
Yeah.
different streams.
That's true.
Well.
This is just
That's a story in
like-
itself. Like the fact that you've just said that. You were like
that I don't care for this
the
shit.
PS. No, the fact that you were like, oh, we had the PS1 like over.
Well, we do have PS1,
66.
like, I remember my brother playing like Final Fantasy 8, which is probably like why Final Fantasy 8 was one of my because I played that after him and it's just like watching me Oda Lewis play it, it's just like so sick. It's just like and then like you know when like you do the GFs, like you do the boosts,
Mm.
like, you hold select and you press square all the time. You
Yeah.
just have was it square or X? I think it's you tap square as much as you can, and then like it is like because when you boost, it's like it lets you know when you can press it, and then it is like an X when you can't, and when you press it when it's X on it, it just goes back down, and just like shit, it's just like and then I think like it's like finding techniques. Like if you just do it like if you like side do that like that, that's proper fast. It's like is it? Like, and then it's like we lose anyway. Sorry,
We lose anyway.
Because like we just do it too much, and then it just goes back down to like 70 or something.
You went
and
through
then-
5 PS1 pads.
just weird.
Yeah, wearing the
It's like
square
shash
button.
cards. Ugh. Well, that's Final Fantasy 8. Moving on to like PS2. Well, I played a lot of Bomberman as well. But Bomberman just.
Do you have any
just,
memories of like playing games at Christmas or anything like that? Getting the family together.
Oh, Dark Souls, dude, with you.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. That's why
I
Dark
think we
Souls
spent
will always
all our
hold.
Christmas
Oh,
with
yeah.
Dark Souls and just like
That-
going
that
through it.
week.
And, like, but that's not like childhood. That was like
No,
3 years ago.
no, not that long ago.
What else? Other games? No, I rarely. Well, on PC got Hazard, which is like an RPG, which I kind of fired for.
You did
Has
buy
it?
it. You got it in the end, didn't you? You bought it with me.
Oh yeah, our Sam bought it. Like he had it in his room, I remember. So I picked it up, tried to plug it in, but you obviously it only runs on the older version
Older
of Windows.
PCs. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I was like, oh fuck it. I'm sure like I can find an emulator of some sort. Like, but,
Yeah. Sweet.
yeah, it's just effort.
Dan,
Um,
you want to warm our heart? I feel like we should
Yeah,
have like a
Dan.
little virtual fire. Should we get like a little
Sorry.
virtual like fire going on the screen?
Sorry.
I'm so cold.
I'm gonna like a little campfire. I'm gone. Go on,
Put it
you,
in the
you
middle.
start, Dan. I'll
I could tell you a story.
go for it.
I can tell you the story.
One of my earliest memories of playing games was we used to play on the computer. I didn't get a PlayStation until I was maybe about, I can't remember now, 9 or something. But we used to play all our games on this guy used to be a PC gamer, OG. But the earliest memory I can think really is when I was little. I remember my dad coming in. He was like, his mate Mark had lent him Final Fantasy 7 on PC, and he throws it up and stuff, and it's like on the character screen. He's like, "Do you want to play it with me?" And I was like, "Yeah, I think so." I was only a kid, you know what I mean? I didn't have a clue what was going on story wise, but it was just cool guys with guns on their arm and big swords and stuff to me. Do you know what I mean? I just thought it was cool music, fighting and that. And he'd like, I always remember he'd used to he'd like rename like Cloud's name to Daniel and stuff like that. So he's like, "Yeah, it's you. You put you in the game, lads." And he'd like, I'd be like, "Oh, boss," and then like that's kind of where the obsession began, I'd say.
Maybe
And
you should you should say that Final Fantasy 7 is one of your favorite games. of all
Oh
time.
yeah.
This campfire, it's so lame. Oh my god, the keyframe,
Oh,
like
for
the
like-
white out of it. Oh, it
Oh,
looks so,
Jesus Christ.
it looks so pathetic.
Paul, what the hell?
That's so funny though. We'll leave it there for this segment.
Oh, for like nostalgic
Bad
reasons.
fire.
And
Just like on your face.
I can't even see it.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Oh.
Wow.
That's great. But yeah, go on.
No, yeah.
Hey.
I love the
Hey. It's like,
we I forget where I was at. Yeah, that's where
Your obsession for it came.
the obsession began. Yeah, I'd being like the weird kind of over imaginative creative guy kid I was. I'd like go into school and be like, "Guys, there's this thing and there's these guys and they've got swords and they've got shurikens and they've got guns and they've got fists and they've got poles
Fists,
and
they got
stuff, and they
fists?
use magic and then they summon things and then these big monsters come and they use like big moves and they just kill stuff and it's boss." And like I can remember like good friend of mine Chris, well obviously he's no Mason, and my friend Mark,
Shout out to Mason because he actually watches these. Mason enjoys watching them. He does watch them.
does he?
Yeah.
He what's it called? Yeah, used to be like little gimps running around in the yard and just being like and I'm going no. You have to wait your turn. Like we have to stand in a line. You can pick which character you want to be, and you have to stand in a line. Imagine there's a monster there, right? Okay, it's your go. Pick a move. You're gonna use a spell. You're gonna summon something, or you're gonna attack it. And
A
they just be
proper
like,
go.
I haven't got a clue. Like they're just kind of like I don't know, and they would just be like punching air and stuff and being so lame. Like, and like all the other kids would be like weirdos. Like, why aren't you playing footy like a normal kid? And
Yeah.
because it's cool, man. But
This is
I
who we
got my mate Mark is really into Final Fantasy as well, and I sort of got him into it like at a young age as well. And from there, there's even I've got really good memories of going around to his house as a kid. Me, him, and his little brother David. Although he's not so little anymore, like but we used to sit there and like we'd have the strategy guide out for Final Fantasy 9, and we'd sit there and play it. And David would sit there, and I always remember he used to have this like, you know, like, so what are they called? You get like a pen, but it's not really a pen, but it brings
Oh, the magnetic board things.
like the magnet,
Yeah, I know
like
what
the
you mean,
iron
yeah.
up, so you can like draw, and then
I
you can
know, yeah.
erase it and that. Used to have a Thomas the Tank Engine one. I always remember, and he used to sit there, bless him. He used to sit there and like draw monsters. They all looked the same, but he was only little, like thinking he'd be like, and this is this monster, and I call it this, Dan. And he's like showing me all his
Ah.
monsters. So I'm like, oh, sick, yeah. We were like our own little clan of geeks for like from a very young age.
Yeah, it's funny.
Kawaii.
But
Should have seen the amazement on his face. I was like, get on this. If you write a message backwards and then you look at it in the mirror, it looks forwards. And
wow. Secret messages.
blew his mind at the time. I'll never forget that. Yeah.
It always blew my mind when I figured out that race car was race car backwards.
Yeah.
People who didn't know that, mind blown.
Mhm.
One story that you'll appreciate, Dan, there I've noted down here, which is a really special one for me, must have been it was the summer before the PS3 released, so 2006, right? Summer 2006. Actually no, maybe it was 2 years before the PS3 released. So I remember I used to go. We moved to the house we're in now, next to my grandma's house, like I said before. And another fond memory of being in my grandma's house is staying there over the summer, because my mum used to work during the day, and then like she'd pick us up overnight. But obviously when we moved here, like I'd just get minded by her, like I'd just be looked after in my grandma's house. So like I'd take my consoles with me next door and play them on like the front room TV, and my granddad would always kick off like, "You're breaking the TV, don't unplug the DVD player," like sort of thing. Like, it's funny, but I always remember taking the PS2 through, and I wasn't really that privileged, I'd say, when it comes to games. Like I used to get a game maybe for Christmas, a few games for Christmas every year, but other than that, like I wouldn't get that much unless like I really wanted it. Like, so I used to just play demos. Like my dad would buy me the PlayStation magazines with the demos that come with them, and this goes back to PS1 days as well. Like like pretty much all my games, bar like maybe 15 of my original PS1 games, were actually real. Like I've still got my Final Fantasy 7 in the cupboard there, and it's literally just like white discs with FF7 disc 1, 2 and 3 written on them. Like we just used to, because like we're Scousers, aren't we? We don't have real stuff. We have blag stuff. So I've got like a full collection of fake PS1 games there along with demos. But that was the thing. I used to play the demos, and I don't know whether it was just me being like such a well-behaved, like well-mannered kid. Like I wasn't never confident enough to ask for a game, that I'd just play the demos over and over and over again. Like Sly 2 was one of them. That I always used to play the demo over and over and over and over again, and but I'd never ask for the actual game, the full game. I was just quite content playing the demo over and over again. So one day, my dad comes in and he's like, "Oh, you going to your grandma's? Yeah, here's a magazine for you." And he gives me this magazine. It's got a PlayStation 2 demo on it, so I'm just burning through them as you do. And on the disc was a little game, little ditty called Dragon Quest 8. And I put it in, playing it on my grandma's TV, and I was like, this looks like Dragon Ball. Like I remember being like, this is just hot off the heels of like watching Dragon Ball. I was like, this looks like Dragon Ball. Like, wow, is this the same? And later on, obviously, I figured that was the same artist. But playing it and like being like, this is like Final Fantasy 7, but with like really good graphics. Like I haven't played anything since. I was like, this is like the game, like the Final Fantasy game, but with better, like amazing graphics. And I was like, so I just played the demo, and the demo only goes up to the bit where you fight the Bristol Crawl fella. This is my fort a wall. Why is he like a mermaid?
Like the mermaid
guy, man. He steals a crystal ball, but I'll never go to that. And like, just not having that sort of I just wanted to explore the world. And I remember the overture theme for Dragon Quest 8 is like, dun 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 dun, and I remember like going to the edge of a cliff and just like looking out at the blue sky and the sea just going on forever, and just thinking, like serenity, like just pure bliss. And that was only like what, fucking 2005, so
10
how
years
old?
ago.
12, yeah, it's like 10 years ago. So I'm only like 13 at the time, and I'm literally just like, this is incredible. Like, I've never seen anything like it. So my mum came home from work, and this is me. This is like the kid who doesn't ask for any games, like just kind of gets where he's given sort of thing, just really content. And my mum came in, and I remember like going up to her really nervously and being like, "Mum, there's this game. It's really good. It's called Dragon Quest 8. Can I get it like sometime?" And she just goes to me, "Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'll get you it tomorrow." And I remember just being like, "Whoa." And then next day, go into town, Game Station. Remember when Game Station was a thing? And getting a copy of Dragon Quest 8, taking it home, and it was just the summer of DQ8, summer of DQ8. And then I remember getting stuck fighting one of the bosses, no spoilers, and getting sick of it. And then I remember coming back to it a few years later, and then beat it. And then me and Dan did a playthrough of it 2 years ago. We still haven't. We finished the main part, but we didn't finish the post game. We're still yet to.
Maybe we could run through. I think it was such a good run through for both of us because we both haven't played it in so long, and it was like it's
remembering
quite,
all the
stuff. Quite nostalgic, like holds memories. Like so when we loaded it up, I think
should be noted.
We were sharing it.
Should be noted that I don't know if I can speak for Richard, but I know I can speak for Dan in saying we're very nostalgic gamers. Like a lot of the time,
you two are definitely.
A lot of
definitely.
Yeah. A lot of the time, like
I'm sorry, guys, I'm an amateur.
a lot of the time, like games, I'll often like take Bubsy on the SNES for example. It wasn't until I discovered like YouTube and like when YouTube gaming became really big in like 2011 that I discovered that everyone hates Bubsy, and Bubsy's like one of my favorite games on the SNES, and like everyone hates it. But even going back to it now, like playing it, I just think this is so great. But I don't know whether I'm blinded by nostalgia or whether it's actually like, a good game. But I can't. But I mean, I try and stay as objective as I can when I'm giving opinions, obviously, because I know a lot of people are like, "Oh no," the Final Fantasy debate's like the biggest one. Like, people going, "Oh no, 8's better, 9's better, 7's better." And it's only ever the 3 PS1 ones that are ever like in discussion. Yeah. And like,
well,
nah.
Yeah.
Well, I always get. I never
argue that 7's the best, but I argue that 7's my favorite one because of the nostalgia that's attached to it.
Same.
Trying to get the fucking discs to work. Oh.
Actually, no, that's not true. I do argue it's the best one sometimes.
most revolutionary one.
Well,
the best one's clearly 11, guys. The best one's 11. We all know.
Playing it as an adult, it's more like I can see its flaws, but at the end of the day, who cares? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's all subjective anyway.
It's what you feel personally. It's like somebody,
going
anyone
back to,
in the world can go.
I feel like a lot of people should, especially if you're our age, like 20 moving on 30. I'd say people who played games when they were younger, during that age, they should go back and play them, because I've found revisiting games that I played when I was really young with a child's mindset, it's a lot different than playing with an adult mindset. Now that I've got a more developed mind and I understand narrative. In terms of culture, terms of culture and understanding narratives and film and stuff, and like understanding why they made decisions and artistic decisions and stuff like that. I feel like going back with an adult mindset, or at least someone who's been playing games all their life as a mindset, it gives you perspective on games that you might have thought were really great or really bad when you were younger, and now are really great. So, but yeah, Dragon Quest 8. If you haven't played Dragon Quest 8 yet, and you have a PS2,
you play it now.
I don't have a PS2, but
I mean, do it. Drop everything you're doing and just do it.
It's not.
It's not. See you later, guys.
It's not the biggest RPG. I wouldn't say. How long did it take us to do it? Like on a recent one?
I think it's quite big for what it is. Well, or at least it was at the time, because I remember, no spoilers, but like one thing happens. I remember it happening and being like, "Oh,
that's the end of the game."
Okay.
And you're only
and
halfway
then
through.
It's like, oh, hang on.
Yeah,
there's still loads of shit to do.
Yeah,
is right.
Exactly. Yeah,
2 games.
It was It's a big game, but in terms of an RPG, it's not like 100+ hours.
Yeah,
I think there's a 90-hour cap on it.
There's only 4 characters in it, isn't there?
Oh yeah, there's no extra characters. Yeah,
Oh,
actually
yeah.
thinking about it, that's so weird how like there's only 4 characters, considering most of the games even before that had loads of characters that you could switch out. But I thought it was quite refreshing because I often get like really overwhelmed when it comes to stuff like that. You've played Chrono Cross, haven't you? Like I imagine that was really overwhelming, the amount of characters there are in that. But like that's the thing.
That game's.
I don't really mind if there's a party of 4. Like I think that's a nice balance. But going back to Final Fantasy X, you only have 3 people in the party. I know you can switch them out during the battle, but even like 7, like I always, it's so, even like I've been replaying Chrono Trigger. It's so hard to think which character
pick who you want.
You need at least one healer
And
and like all shit like that. But it's like 7. Like I always want Vince on my team because he's just fucking sweet. But
I'm sorry.
then
I
again,
don't know anything you're talking about.
I'm
sorry.
You haven't played 7, have you? We should do a run through of 7. We haven't actually done a run
Yeah.
through of 7, have we done?
Final Fantasy
No.
7.
That's what we should do.
No, we haven't. Should wait for the PS4 for it to come out on PS4.
Yeah, no, that's a shout. Yeah, I was thinking before. Do you remember the idea I pitched
I'll
to you
tell you where
a while
every
ago?
secret is.
Every secret. Do you remember the idea I pitched to you a
Yeah.
few weeks ago about doing the 1 sittings? I feel like we could take off with that. I feel like we should do like some RPGs with that. Do it in 1 sitting.
Yeah.
That'd be so fucking
Oh.
sweet.
Defo. Get
Can
some
you, imagine,
pizza.
can you imagine like 3
huge
days
spare.
straight, just like pure grinds, and like all of us getting fucking narky trying to like beat bosses and shit? That'd be so fucking cool. Like, I feel like
We can do it if you want over summer. I've got, as I say, I've got a free house. So if it's
oh shit, my quality's dropping again.
if we want to do stuff like that,
Yeah,
my house is always open.
yeah. We'll sort
I
it
think
out
that'd be
like that.
weird.
We'll sort it out.
Like sleeping, like
No, you
staying-
don't sleep.
staying
That's
up
the
all day.
point.
Yeah, no, yeah, but we'll take turns. Obviously, we do have to sleep. You're not.
You don't.
all
That's the
gonna be staying
point.
up.
That's the point.
3 days.
Yeah,
That's
that's the point. You gotta do. You gotta go hard or go home. Get out.
God, I'll probably.
You have to
after the
work,
third
like-
day, I'll
You have to go
have
to
to
work
work, I
and
have
then
a job.
come back. Like,
I'll go to work and come back.
You
You,
haven't
you
slept.
guys, wait, how far you gone? I still don't sleep.
I mean, I'm game for trying now.
I had a story before. Oh yeah. That's
Go on. I think I'm done.
I thought it
talking
was
about
another story.
Dragon Quest Days anyway. Go for it.
Okay, cool. Hey, only a short one. It's just I always remember. Was in
Cool.
year 8, so 2007.
7.
It would have been, and I had Kingdom Hearts 2 on pre-order from Play.com, obviously.
Played
Of course.
I didn't know it. I didn't know it was gonna be there, but I always remember me and Matt McDonald. We had English with Miss Remington last period, and we both hadn't done our homework,
Oh.
and we were like, "Oh, cannot be arsed getting a grilling for not doing our homework." So we were like, "Should we just skip it and just go home?" Like, so I was like, "Yeah, sound." So we ditched class and bailed to the Vale and got to 61
Vale.
home. And the Vale. Got home. Obviously I was first home. I beat my mum and dad back from work and shit. Obviously because I was early. There was a little parcel waiting there, and I was like, oh shit, it's got my name on it. Opened it, Kingdom Hearts 2. I was like, oh my god, no English and Kingdom Hearts 2. This is the best day already. Like, I just remember, because I was so hyped for it, I just remember popping it in on my little fucking how many inches must it have been? About 10 inches or something. Telly,
Square.
like up on mount on my wall. Yeah, my little PS2 hooked up to a thingy. I'm like sat back on my bed, and I'm like, oh my god, it's happening finally! Like, oh, I was so excited. I just played it for hours, and my mum came home, didn't clock me at all for being home early or anything. So got away with that one. And
I feel like we should
laughing.
insert
Had a brew. It was great.
Ice Cube's Best Day, whatever it's called. Just waking up in the morning, gotta thank God.
Oh.
I don't know, but today feels kind of odd. No homework from Rimmel.
Oh,
It's so mad how we link this sort of happiness to getting games. That's why I
well,
think
you two in
well,
general.
you too, Richard, you're just very what? How would you describe?
Cold.
Very
I hate
cold.
games.
You have no
I
soul.
don't play video games. I have no souls.
You play
towards
to
video games.
to destroy people. That's
I
it.
play to win.
Very competitive.
I can remember
Oh, say
actually
yeah.
as well
But
being
I'm
really
gonna
little
convince
and
you.
playing on this.
Episode 2.
I feel like this
Is it
this
coming?
summer should be to convince Richard that retro gaming is the way forward. Well, not the way
Yeah.
forward, but
It's a way forward.
just-
I'm going backwards in
It's a good
time,
direct.
guys.
just to appreciate
I was
appreciate
PS3,
retro games
Wait my
more.
way down.
I'm gonna get Richard
Like flower.
to beat a Zelda game. Oh, nice.
Kawaii.
Pretty.
Senpai.
Pretty cool. Pretty
Ultra cool.
Ultra
Wait,
cool.
I was gonna say something. I think. Oh yeah. Sorry. What were you saying? About to say something, Daniel?
I was only gonna say I remember being really little as well, playing the SNES with my sisters, played Street Fighter 2 a lot, and my sister, Yogi, just kicked my ass because I was a kid, and then like obviously she mastered it. I remember my mum like telling my dad telling her off, like, why can't you just let him win once? She's like, because he can't win, because he's not hitting me. He's like, he's just hitting buttons and not moving. Like, he's not doing anything.
He's Hadouken in the
I
crowd.
must have been like 3 or
Oh.
something.
We spoke about Ryan before. We're gonna bring him on for a podcast when he's free. But
Sure, yeah.
it was just when we were in primary school. Me and Ryan were in the same primary school. Ryan's my cousin, in case anyone doesn't know. His mum used to pick me because my mum used to work like throughout the day. She used to work like 9 till 6 or whatever. I used to go to Ryan's house on a Friday night, and it was literally like the best I'd only go for like a few hours, but the best couple of hours, because we'd just be like, right, we can play so many games, we can do so much. So like we play like fucking Deus Ex, fucking Max Payne. We used to fucking get so scared of Max Payne, like no spoilers. We used to get so scared of Max Payne, nearly gave big one away there. But used to play Roller Coaster Tycoon, and just out of like just the biggest laugh on Roller Coaster Tycoon. And even before that, like playing, like, it's so mad because I wouldn't consider Ryan much of a gamer now, but back then, like, we used to fucking love that shit. Like, SNES was our jam. Like, we went to me auntie's once and stayed over, and we'd just play Aladdin all night and just fucking it was just so good being a kid playing games. Especially, like, I feel like we were the luckiest generation. We were like we were like just as they got it right, and just as they're going wrong. Like we got like the nice, because we grew up with it, sort of thing. But kids these days will never understand. But then again, they might do. I mean,
Well, for them, like when they're age, they're
Yeah.
like,
I remember playing the Order 1886. Played it for many days. Played it for 2 hours and traded it in at CEX. Like,
Oh,
like
remember
fucking
CEX?
back in our day, we had to I played the same fucking demos over and over again. Kids don't understand the struggle.
I used to play the Dark Cloud demo over and over again. Actually,
That transferred
I think
over
it
to
came
when
with
I got
PS4 and the PS2 demo disc.
yeah. That transferred to when I first got the PS3 as well. Because when I got the PS3, I was how old
Was
I?
all me demos at?
7. I was like 13, 14. So obviously I hadn't started work yet, and I was still in the same situation. Because I only really started buying games probably when I started work when I was 16. Buying games for myself, obviously, and other than that, I'd just be like Christmas money and birthdays and stuff. So didn't have any PS3 games when it first launched. I had Resistance, Fallen Man, which I beat like fucking 50 times because it was the only game I had, and Motorstorm, which I used to hate because it was so hard. But yeah, just even playing the demos on that. I remember playing the Armored Core 4 demo like relentlessly, and the Darkness. Remember the Darkness? Just playing those demos because you could just download them, and they were just. I've still got all the demo discs from the PS3 magazines, if you can believe that. Like the last remnants of like demos that used to come on disc. There's a disc there with. Do you remember Super Rubber Dub? Like the tech demo that released with the PS3.
Yeah.
I've got a disc there with
Super
it on that's probably worth a fortune because I don't think you can get it anymore on the PlayStation Store. But
Super Rubber Dub. Oh, lad, Super Rubber Dub.
just you know what I mean? Like
Rubber Dub.
just really appreciating the lack of content that we had. Whereas now it's like people you get like 6 free games a month, full games with the PlayStation Plus, and there's still people moaning like, oh, fucking what's with these shitty little indie games? Give us some big titles. It's like people are so unappreciative these days. Gets me, man.
Well, there is some big titles now. Whoa. Like, dying.
We're
What,
spoiled
first,
for
like,
choice. We're spoiled for
Flashlight?
choice, like literally.
Yeah.
Flashlight.
Yeah.
We're spoiled for choice, like we literally are. Like if you wanted to get a PS4 now, and it's been out 2 years, not even 2 years yet. There's like 100+ games that you could get for it, and there's no way you can beat that many.
Yeah, but how
games.
many of them are good?
Yeah, but that's besides the point. They're
Yeah,
actual
I know.
games.
It's
Like
beside the
I used to play
point.
shitty games on the PS1, and like
Mhm.
and love it and still love it. The fact that I actually
Yeah.
have the game to play.
That's
You know
true.
what I mean? Like a big one that a lot of people are nostalgic over, which I think isn't even that good of a game. Going back and replaying it is Spyro. You know, the original
Spyro.
I
Spyro.
love Spyro.
See, I
It's
do,
one of my favorite.
gameplay wise, I do, and nostalgia wise, I do. Obviously, because I'm obviously blinded by it. But going back, if you go back and look at like the textures, like
Oh,
it's
those graphics are
so
awful.
poor.
Even
Like,
by the third one,
and the voice acting,
like the
like
graphics were
it's
still
just so shite.
Well,
But
so it's
we used
poor
to love
by
it. But
for the
but
time.
we used to love
still a
it.
good game.
Do you know what I mean? We used to love it.
You mean like
Game.
the graphics were bad for its time, or
No,
It's
like
just
no, it doesn't hold up very well
No,
nowadays.
just
doesn't hold up?
No.
But like, aren't you like
What?
somewhat not biased, but like um corrupt? Not corrupt, but like you kind of like been given all these other games like in the since now, like you've been looking through like all these new games that look fantastic, and then like, oh wait. Then you go back to Spyro, and Spyro is being like very flat
But
textures.
often when I'll revisit a game, if I do, because I play retro games all day. Like when people say revisit, I already live it. Like I already play it. Like
Mhm.
now, it's not a case of revisiting for me because it's like what I play now anyway. I try and imagine at the time what it would have been like. Like would
That's also
would
what I'm
this have
saying.
been
Like, it wasn't
acceptable?
like
Like obviously people go back and they're like, oh, the graphics are shit, but they're comparing it to stuff now. Like you have to
yeah, but
keep.
that's what I said. Was it bad for its time?
Well, no, I guess not. Well, I guess it wasn't bad for its
For its
time.
time, like, if you compare it
It's
to other
pretty
games that came out
standard, really.
Like,
during the same
like
year.
standard, really. I mean, it was for its
Just-
time. It was quite
yeah.
smooth. I mean, it's just the textures, really.
Mm.
I mean, I know Bubsy 3D gets a lot of flack for not having textures. But
Yeah, well, that's
Just black
that's the
screen, that's
first place. I got I should give him some credit really. There's a fella Aioli who my sister used to hang around with. Lives like at the bottom of the bottom of our road. It's called Mark, and she obviously used to like play SNES games with him and stuff when she was a kid. And most of my SNES games, at least the boxed ones, all came from him.
mm,
Because he like traded Aioli some CD or something for them all, and she thought she should get them for like whenever we want to have a
bargain.
bash on the SNES. Yeah, laughing like back then, like bad move, but like now, like genius move. Oh no, like bad move for him, but
Yeah, to get rid of
yeah,
them.
yeah, it's paid off, and yeah. Especially considering like I love playing SNES games, love it. He also already had when a PlayStation 1 was out, he already had one, and I think his nan won one in a raffle or something, or on a game or something in Blackpool, and so he had like a spare PlayStation, and he traded me something. Again, I can't remember, or he traded out. Oh, did I buy it off him? Oh, I think he just sold me it for dead cheap, like a brand new PlayStation 1 with Bubsy 3D. So that was like the first PlayStation 1 game I ever owned was
Yeah.
Bubsy 3D.
But
And
I got
I
Bubsy
never
3D.
beat it. Like I got
never.
fed up
I didn't
with
get
it
past
in
the
the end.
second level. I don't think. It used to make me mum
Yeah,
sick because
no, it's fair.
up to that point, like my mum used to play the SNES with me. She used to love Mario. Like I imagine every mum like loves Mario, but she used to love playing the SNES because it was for the most part 2D. Like, and she gets really bad motion sickness. And then when we had a PS1 actually when I was born, but she never, like, it was kind of like the devil console for her sort of thing. We had the SNES and the PS1 from as long as I can remember. And I remember my dad getting Bubsy 3D from. Do you remember there used to be a game shop opposite the Tesco in the Swan? I don't know if you remember it. It's where like there's a pizza place there now, but there used to be a place there. And I remember going in and just seeing it and being like, "Oh, my mum loves Bubsy on the SNES. Can we get like Bubsy 3D, Dad?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure, like whatever." So I remember taking her home and like popping in. My mum like, "Oh, look, mum, we've got a new Bubsy game," and she's like, "Oh, cool, yeah." So we sat down to play it. And my mum like literally nearly threw up looking at like because she hates it when you can look around in 3D space. So that was my mum's last endeavour towards gaming. But she used to love the SNES. My mum. We used to have such fun, like
Bubsy 3D.
trying to beat Mario 3.
Mm.
A couple of years ago, me and my sister, because I was home, for, like if I was doing nothing over summer or whatever, she was like, let's whip out the SNES and play Mario, Super Mario World. Like we'll do a run through of it. So we did a 2-player, and we beat it. It was good. She's better at it than me, and Aioli's still like, she must not have played it in, I don't know, years. Like, but she still remembers like where all the secrets are and that.
Super Mario World is this?
Yeah.
With a lot, it's got a
And
lot
I
of
remember.
secrets.
Yeah, I remember putting it in. Oh, Yoli remembers, like, just remembers everything. She's like, oh yeah, thingy. She's like, there's something up here. Little beanstalk comes
Oh,
out.
yeah.
I'm like, how do you even remember all that? But I remember put it on, and I was like, and my mum goes, oh, that music. Like, my mum is like, oh, I can remember like
Crazy.
the days like when my two sisters used to play, and she'd be like, oh my god, that music's driving
How old,
me
are you, how old are
insane.
your sisters? One's 30 now, right?
One's 10 years older than me, so one's 31 and one's 34.
So,
10 and
so they
yeah,
must have been
32,
playing it
30.
in the teens, right?
Well, when it came out, yeah.
Mm.
So it was Aioli again. She wanted the NES because a mate's had one. But this is like as the Super Nintendo was coming out,
Yeah.
and she said she just wanted it so she could play Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt. But me grandma, she just didn't buy it. Like, she said she'd get her one, but she just didn't. She got her the Super Nintendo anyway, and she was like so grateful that like glad that me nan got her the Super Nintendo instead, because then she was like the cool kid on the block.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
like the Super
She had the
Nintendo.
new
Oh,
the new one.
hey,
Yeah.
Jay, you got the Nintendo? I got the Super Nintendo.
Super Nintendo.
What's that? It's like, I can imagine
Yeah.
like kids these days being like that, where it's like, hey, I got you the Super Nintendo. What? All my friends play Nintendo. Stupid grandma. Like, kids are so shit these days.
I know.
I was feeling. I'm just thinking though, like, was games that, like, consoles and like, was that more like well known, not known, but like accepted in like, oh, well, obviously for you two it was fine, but I'm saying like, like if you go up and like say play Super Nintendo and all that jazz, like, not every family was like was into it, like buying the kids.
In
these Super
America,
Nintendo.
it was much bigger than it was here, definitely.
Much bigger.
But I don't
But
know.
I'm saying there's still like them real, well, not real people, real families, but like these families who just like stay away from the whole consoles and games in general. And
Well, it
just
makes
like,
sense
oh,
because a lot
kids
of people,
shouldn't stay in stores
because
and just play outside.
the media pitch there is like poison, like back in the day, didn't they?
Yeah.
Like when it first came
back
out,
in the
like
day.
but
It's definitely
Well,
not as big as it is now.
No.
I don't- was
Not
like
as
back in the
accepted,
day.
I don't think.
that's why I kind of think the retro gaming's making a comeback, is because a lot of people now are seeing what we've got now, and a lot of the people who played retro games when they were younger, like when they were growing up, we're in the point now where everyone who was born in the 90s slash maybe late 80s is kind of like, oh, everything now is shit, let's go back to the shit that we had. And that's why a lot of people, if you notice, like a lot of people are into retro games all of a sudden. Like, and
Yeah.
I can't wait for it to move on
all
and
the time.
get back to our fucking hobby
It's also
properly.
poses, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's not even just
Like, I
So-
don't care at all.
just
I'm sorry, guys.
like how many like Zelda T-shirts do you see nowadays? Like
I literally
if
saw
Zelda
it.
was a
so
girl.
fucking many. Like,
I literally saw an 8-bit Zelda backpack on
yeah,
some dude.
exactly. It's like
He must have
okay,
been.
but
That's the thing,
He
though.
could either be my age, or around my age, or younger. Like, so.
plus I kind of
So
think
it's
all
not
these
too
all
bad.
these Facebook groups and like YouTube videos about being in, like growing up in the 90s. It's kind of like a statement to be like, look, I was born in the 90s, which is cool at the moment. Kind of like the 80s was big like 10 years ago, because it's all the people who were just like switching over. Well,
I don't know.
Give it
Like,
5 to 10 years, and we'll be the cool kids on the block.
yeah.
to be
Can't-
honest,
can't wait.
Talking about
I don't.
just PS1, PS2.
Yeah.
Like, you guys could play.
Because
Like,
like
you can all go back.
a big thing
and,
that got
like-
me the other day is obviously my brother. I know I was like cursing them for being on COD or whatever, but he really surprised me the other day because he came in like, it's not he's at that funny age now, like the teenager age, so he just like locks himself in his room or whatever. So you know, I don't really speak to him as much as I did. And he lives in the same house as me, it should be noted. But the other day I was just sitting playing Demon's Souls, and he comes in and he's like, "Do you remember Driver 3?" I was like, "Yeah." he was like, "Do we still have it?" I was like, "Still have all the games. They're there, you know. They are." Yeah. And he was like, "Still have the PS2?" I was like, "Yeah, of course I do." He's like, "Can we go on it?" I was like, "Sure." So like got the PS2 ready and I put him on it, and he literally sat on it for like 3 hours, just like laughing his head off with all the shit. And I was like, it just made me so happy to see him like actually appreciating it, because I fear that he's just gonna turn into one of them kids. They're just like, oh, COD this, COD that, GTA. You know what I mean? Like, just kind of follows his mates, but kind of give me a little bit of, because when I got to his age, I mean, I was playing COD 4 and that, and then that's when I started kind of going back to retro games. So I'm kind of hoping that he does the same and follows in my footsteps. But he'll be talking about, obviously, because he's a bit younger than me. He'll be talking about like the PS2, stuff like that. But even then, like I said, I was playing the Super Nintendo even after he was born. It didn't get to a point where I was like, right, we got the PS1, so we replaced the SNES. Then we got the PS2, so we released the PS1. Like, I kept all my games, and I've been playing them all my life, sort of thing. You know what I mean? So it's from all ages, but I'm kind of hoping that he kind of clocks on that we should appreciate all the games. Well, that's just me.
You can appreciate old games completely. But for me,
You don't.
personally,
You don't.
no, it's not. I don't disappreciate older games. Like I do. I appreciate them for what it did for my like playing games. I'm like just thinking back. PS2 was like Tenchu. Playing that was a couple of times with my brothers, like split screen. Like remember
Tenchu was PS1, right?
PS1.
No. There's older like
a new one.
There's a PS2 version of Tenchu.
Right.
And then it's just like Tenchu playing that. Just like getting all the stealth kills in. It's just like sick. And then also it's like what other games on PS2 was it? It's Tiny Splitters 2. I spent ages. I remember, but most of my memories are just like mumbled up because of my family. And this is like my mother's just coming in and just shouting at me, telling me to, like,
but that's
get off
good.
it.
But that's good because everyone's had that. Like I had that as well. Like when they like threaten to take it away from you, you'd be like, "Oh, fine, take it. I don't even want it anyway." And then they take it, and you're like, "No, like give me Mario back." Like, it's happened to all,
like,
and that's part of what makes you. Sorry.
No, but like I'm saying, like PS3, Call of Duty. I was so addicted to Call of Duty.
So was I, bro.
That
We played together.
Yeah,
we played together.
Didn't
your mum take the PS3 away from you when you were in school, like school time, and then like when you were summer holidays, she let you play?
No, that's the thing. Like yeah, like because I played it so much to the point like what time is it now? It's like it's 1:30, but I'll be like staying up till about midnight, and they'll be just streaming at me like get to bed kind of thing, and like to a point where they took it away from school. And like I never played it for like I stopped playing. There's like a point in my life where I stopped playing games until summertime, and then even then it was just like very strict. So the gaming is like for me back in the past, well, call it PS3 days. This is a very strict thing, and now I've been given like so much freedom. I could play, do whatever the fuck I want now. But
you should play Ocarina of Time. Then.
I used to say like, no, thank you. I used to say that my mum was I'm so good at Call of Duty 4 that Sony contacted me mad to take the PS4.
Oh my god.
So like give everyone else a competition.
Oh my god, that's
like
so
give
funny.
everyone else a chance because like I'm so good.
Like you were embarrassed to say that your mum was like taking the PS off you for school.
No, I was joking, obviously. That was the truth. I did say it, but I was like jokingly saying it. But I was like, yeah, I did get pretty good. I would say on par as you, but as well, you was good as well. Quick scopes and no scopes and that.
I was like, that was like the peak of my FPS days, I think. Like I know I've gone back in, like we've been playing Counter-Strike this week, been trying to get into it, like, but that for me, COD 4 was like the peak of my expertise with COD 4. I used to wreck on COD 4, like I swear. And then like I remember kind of like a curve. So like Modern Warfare, World at War came out. I remember getting that when I was like I had tonsillitis in like year 9. I want to say year 9. Or it might have been year 10, and I got to miss out on prize giving. It got released on the day of prize giving, and anyone who goes to our school, if you could get off prize giving, it was literally like you had a golden ticket to just. But yeah, I remember having tonsillitis and getting that as well, and just being like, oh shit, I'm gonna get higher than everyone. Everyone's in prize giving, like just fucking wrecking. But
what did you say? Just called you lucky for getting tonsillitis.
No, it was. If you could,
Also,
if you could somehow
Don't
skip,
understand.
if you could somehow skip
Yeah.
out a prize, given like it was the. I hope no teachers are watching, but yeah, they already knew. It was
no
just-
teachers.
most of the teachers weren't asked anyway. Like they didn't want you to go. But yeah, COD and then World at War came out. And you know, didn't spend as much time. And it's so funny because if you look at me rank on COD 4, I think I'm Prestige 10, like the highest you can be.
Yeah, you got
like,
yeah.
Proper like high. I was quite high on the leaderboards as well. Then World at War, I think I got to like Prestige 7. I was like, okay, it's still quite good. Modern Warfare 2 came out like Prestige 5, and then like as like that goes up, like it's like, and you look at like Advanced Warfare now, I'm like rank 20, like like I don't know, it just, and every year COD comes out, and I'm like, right, you know what, this is gonna rekindle, and I'm gonna like get back into FPS properly, and I just can't do it. Just lost so much interest, but I don't know. Counter Strike. The reason I've been playing it a lot, and I was saying to you, is because it reminds me of COD 4. Very basic, like you just select your weapon, and
Basic
no all mad
mechanics.
attachment, basic mechanics. Like the only trouble I have is
Counter Strike.
playing KBM
With people.
because
No keyboard.
KBM because I'm used to a controller.
There is
but-
controller support.
Yeah, I know, but it's not.
You could turn it on. Have you turned it on?
Yeah, I've tried it, but I'd rather just learn how to use. Like, I'm not too bad at it now. I put the sensitivity down, how to play with the controls, and I'm getting alright at it. But
Oh yeah, it's definitely like
it
once
definitely,
you fix your.
definitely won't replace the memories I have of COD 4. Definitely not. That was
No,
like the
for
one
sure.
for me.
Well,
Was that Daniel? Like, you wanted to say something? I cut
No,
you
I was
off.
just thinking. I think I skipped like a good year of my life where I stopped playing games.
Really?
At least a year, I'd say, because it's like I had the PS3 and I had a couple games for it, and I weren't really that fussed on them. And like then I had a girlfriend, and she like let me touch her boobs, so that was a lot more interesting. At the time.
A
So
lot more interested. Hey, bro, you got the PS3. You got the PS boobs.
boobs.
Boob Station 3.
in 3D, of course.
In double D.
in double D.
Oh my god.
What was the same as well, boobs?
You missed out on the year of
Boobs.
gaming.
Yeah, stop gaming for like I think it was when Rob convinced my mate Rob. He's like real big on zombies and stuff. So because when Dead Island comes out, it's like, lads, you need to get this game. It's like it's zombies and stuff, and it's gonna be amazing and that. And I did like no research into it or anything because like I've been out the game, so I just thought, all right, thingy. And but I wanted American McGee's Alice as well, Madness Returns, because I knew it was out, and I always
course,
wanted to
yeah.
play it. And I knew it came with DLC, the original game. It came with that with a download code, so I really wanted to play the first one as well. So I remember asking for it, and my mum, like for my birthday or for Christmas or something, my mum and dad were like, yeah, sound, and I was like playing it, like I was like, what? I used to love, like I remember sitting there being like, I used to love this, like what, like I at the time as well, I was like really into music as well, and my band was like my life, like it was so lame.
Battle Cry.
But
Battle Cry.
yeah. But I remember sitting there and playing. I mean, I didn't really like Dead Island that much, but I remember sitting there playing American McGee's Alice, and I was like, "Oh, this is sick." I remember I used to games were like the shit. I always played Final Fantasy, but like there was a big gap between Final Fantasy 12 and I didn't play 11, and then Final Fantasy 13. I played 13, and like that was just like a one-off because it was like Final Fantasy game. I have to get it. Until then, I was like, oh, right, okay, I want another game to play. So I remember going in. I had 2 HMV, like money off gift cards from Christmas, and I was like, Skyrim, it's good. And like I remember putting it in and playing it and being like, this is the shit. Like,
incredible.
like what have I been doing with my life? Wasting my time with girls and music and a life. That like this is the shit. Like right here, I'm slaying dragons and shit.
I have
man,
to
yeah.
I'm gonna have to find that video of like. Do you remember the thing that was done that time? The Skyrim video, and where it was like when the guy sees the Skyrim trailer, and I'll try and find it.
I think so.
That's when I started learning a lot of video game covers as well, because I used to watch covers of all this like different people doing different songs from Skyrim and shit. And then I was
I don't know if I
yeah,
can,
Oh,
let's
I can't find
What
it.
is this video?
I think I found it. I'm going. It's gonna be. I have to get rid of the bonfire.
No, it's so cold.
Same music was my life and now it's games, but like if you don't know, my degrees in like I'm studying my degree in music, right? So it's still there. It's not just
I found it. I'm gonna put it.
May
On.
as
You
well
won't be able to
give it
see
on
it, like, but everyone else at home will, and but you might see it if you watch the stream in a minute.
I'm on the stream.
wait, put oh
It's it's this video that released when Skyrim first got. I don't know if it was when it was announced or when the trailer got released or whatever, but I'll just play it anyway because it's quite funny and it's quite somewhat relevant.
Yeah, and then Rorschach goes,
Right,
"I'm
nobody talks,
nutty,"
is it?
and everyone thought I was really funny.
Oh yeah. Did you see there's a teaser out for the new Elder Scrolls game?
Whoa, wait, they're doing a new one? Really? God, I loved the last two.
Yeah, it doesn't really show anything though. It's just some old guy doing a voiceover.
Oh man, you've got me excited now.
Don't get too excited. You always get way too worked up about trailers.
What? No, I don't.
But there is one they fear. In their tongue, he is Dovahkiin, Dragonborn. Holy shit! What is this? Forged in God's very flames. Do mine eyes tell me
I
lies?
remember-
A
I
new
remember.
Elder Scrolls game. Time is nigh. I must fly. Venture forth on my quest. Goodbye, Ma. Goodbye, Pa. And goodbye, girlfriend's breasts. I'll be off as a rough. Catch you later, Hyrule. I'll be gone. I'll be on. I'm no longer your fool. The crab filled the gap while I waited to begin the adventure of my life in the land of Skyrim.
Oh, that was so funny. But yeah, I remember Skyrim coming
that's
out.
when my PS3 got yellow light then as well.
Oh yeah, rip. And you haven't had it fixed
in
up
the midst
until
of
until.
still not fixed now.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna fix it.
Sorry,
I've got a
I
new
was
one now.
watching that. I was watching that video.
Oh yeah, the
What
follow.
happened?
I didn't put the follow thing on again, and we got a follow from what was his name? Actually, I don't want to miss it. Let's see.
Is
Reaper
it that?
Omega, yeah, Reaper Omega subscribed as
Oh.
well. He was asking us questions, or followed rather. He was asking us questions before, so we'll thank him at the end as well. If speaking of the end, we should probably bring it to a close. We've been going for a good 57 minutes at this point. I think I'd like to end. I was just thinking then, like, I have gaming stories from like every age I've been at because I've been playing it like my whole life. Like I could talk about playing the Game Boy when I used to go on holiday because I wouldn't play the Game Boy that much in the
No.
house really. I'd only
Oh,
ever play it
that's
going on holiday, and we used to
It
go
just
to like
opens up a whole new library.
exactly. I know, and that's the thing because like I forgot all about that until you mentioned something before in it, and I was
Handhelds.
like, oh shit, of course.
Oh, I've got a million of them.
But like
My
literally,
granddad's-
we used to
oh
go
my
to like
God.
Tenerife every oh my god, Super Link Bros. I have to do a video on that.
Yeah,
It's Super Mario Link Bros. But
should
yeah,
come
we,
back
we,
to,
we used to we used to go on holiday like every
Fondest.
New Year, and I'd get like a different Game Boy game every year, and it'd be one of them Jag knockoff ones with like a million in one, and just so many fun memories. But I think it's because I've been playing all my life, and no matter how shit the gaming industry gets, like no one will ever be able to replace the memories I have of older games. That's why I enjoy it so much, as well as them being the evolution. And
That's the thing, though.
appreciation
That's
design.
in your memories.
Yeah, I am.
It's
I
not
am
gonna
very
change
much.
at all, though. At
I am
all.
very much blinded by nostalgia. But
Yeah. Same. I'll. Oh, what's
You're what?
I played a game called Dark Earth, which we had when I was a kid. I mean, it's only a short game, like in terms of now, but if you didn't know what you were doing, it would probably take quite a long time to figure out like what to do in that. And if you killed an NPC, you probably fuck up the game, and like you wouldn't even know. You'd have to just start again and shit like that. Or PC game.
every
No one knows about it. It's like one of those hidden games that
Hidden gems.
I've always like. Yeah. Well, see, playing it back, I don't know if I'd call it a gem, but like it won. I think it won a Game of the Year award or something at
Really?
the time, and I think it was the story in that. I think is quite ahead of its time, quite ambiguous, but. I think it's mainly only because it was only short and the story was only okay, and it was so hard for me to get it to run because it's such an old game in that
Yeah.
on my laptop. But I can remember it, like, I can just remember, like, my dad playing it when I was a kid, and I'd watch him play and shit. Yeah. Remember going back to it and then just, being blinded by nostalgia. Like, as you say, like, when I'm playing it, I was like, oh, I remember this. Like, this is good and stuff. And it's kind of like, it wasn't really actually that good, but it was good. Like, I still think it's a good game.
Time, yeah,
but
it's like
a
Bugsy.
lot of people might not think it's a good game.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Well, I think we should wrap it up. Since we had a bit of a technical issue at the end, I'm going to have to do some sifting around and see if I can salvage the footage towards the middle of the, the podcast.
I think that would blame Paul for that. Or actually Sam.
Yeah, blame Sam.
If you're gonna call out Sam.
Fucking Sam.
Sam, if you're out there.
I was like, there's no way I'll be Sam. Like, he's in school in the morning. There's no way you'll be up this late. And I fucking opened his door. He's just like sat there playing Advanced Warfare. I was like, you're using the internet. Fucking hell, we had fucking 10 viewers before you came in. Dropped down to 1. It's me. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna close it there. We should probably be back if anything interesting happens on Saturday.
Next week or so.
Or
Saturday.
We could do it a week. Yeah, but Saturday's usually the best time.
Saturday's our day.
Our day to do it. But yeah, last little thanks
Post
to
next Thursday as well.
Reaper Omega.
I'll be free.
Reaper Omega.
Reaper Omega, thanks for
Shout out.
following. Give you the gun fingers.
Thank you.
My love and my touch. We need to get that fixed so we can actually do it live. But yeah, again, we'll sort it out. But yeah, I mean, follow us all on Twitch, Twitter. Follow our YouTube. Go over to No Spoilers Podcast on YouTube, and you should be able to find us. Got some sweet thumbnails up in that now, so we're getting legit. We're just
we're legit.
We're still in early days. We're still just trying to rope everything in, trying to make it all look clean. Some sweet thumbnails.
Sweet thumbnails.
I'd love to do like a picture like of just a thumbnail. It's just a thumbnail for the thumbnail.
Thumbnails, yeah.
Oh, a thumbnail inside a thumbnail.
Sweet thumbnail. Thumbnails.
Yeah, so
there's a cleverer name than that.
Yeah. Hope you enjoyed the stream, guys, and the podcast if you're watching on YouTube. I'm signing off.
From YouTube.
Are you going to sign off too? I was like, I'm signing off.
Sign off.
Bye. These two are staying on. See you later.
That's exactly how every sign off's going to go.
Yeah, it's so hard. It's like it's drawn out so much because we don't know how to end podcasts yet. But yeah. Should we just end by waving and looking into the camera?
This is not creepy at